Okay, good morning, everybody. It is 10 a.m. I think we are good to start. Welcome to our ICFS Modernization External User Demo. My name is Jane. I'm a TPSS contractor. Also, I would like to introduce Catherine Campbell, is a system owner. And Catherine, if you would like to have a couple words as well.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first demo of our new ICFS system. I am currently the system owner. I will be retiring in August, and Adrian McNeil will then be the system owner, so that you know those names going forward when you need help. This will walk you through what our system looks like and how you need to access it and where you go. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And we will get to a question and answer period where we'll go through and try to answer them. If you would prefer a longer response, you could send an email to the ICFS demo email address that you use to register. So, turn it back to Jane.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Catherine. First, we will do just go over some moments through our agenda and the PowerPoint, and then we will get to the most important and excited part, the demo part. Our demonstration agenda is we're going to statement about the recording, also the questions chat, registration with FCC course, overview, and demo. And then we will go to questions and comments as well. First is a statement on the recording. This user demonstration will be recorded for future training usage. By attending, you agree to be recorded. And if you prefer not to ask any questions during the QA period, you also may make use of the meeting chat. Then please hold on your questions, same as Catherine mentioned, until the question answer portion of the meeting so that we can get through all the meeting content, and you are free to utilize the meeting chat and ask questions at any time. And additionally, you may email your questions after the meeting to icfsdemo@fcc.gov. This is a quick overview of ICFS. The International Communications Filing System is the official electronic licensing and filing system for the Federal Communication Commission, Space Bureau, and Office of International Affairs. Each ICFS subsystem has multiple filing request types, and each filing request types also requires one or more completed forms. While there are many common steps for the filing request, there are also filing variants based on the service category, also request type, and FCC filing requirements. Today, during our demo, we will cover FCC application for data network identification code, which is shortly goes as DNC. That includes the following. It's a new form, which is Form 245 DNC new, an amendment of application form, which is Form 245 DNC MD, and waiver is Form 245 DNC WAD. Then the first I would like to also cover, it will be your first steps, and also you will have the user guide, which is help you to register with FCC. But all ICFS users must be registered with the FCC and have an FCC username, password, and also registration number, which is FRN, to log in system FCC filings. This is the following steps, which is you will enter the link in your browser and open the FCC course registration. Also, those steps will be detailed, described in your user guide. You will select the register to open an FCC account and follow the instructions in course. And also FCC additional information can be found on FCC registration frequently asked question page, which will be in the portal. And now we're gonna move to our demo part. And this is the first, what we're gonna demo is how the accessing ICFS quick search page. navigating your ICFS landing page. We'll go over the search bar, advanced search, helpful links, the tab about ICFS, and also like learn more about ICFS and my inbox. This is we'll cover in the first part of the demo. And I will bring this here. Basically, after you register with the course, this will be the landing page. Let's zoom a little bit. Your name will be up here. And also you can see your profile. You can update your profile if you would like to upload a picture onto the bio, and yeah. Then on this page, we have the helpful links. We can start with this. The frequently asked questions. You can see here. Here is as well, we have the FCC homepage, also the Commission Registration System, the FRN. If you would like to get back to the FRN page, you can find here the FCC fees, policies. This part is for IHF. This is for broadcasting and call sign registration. We have also the phone number, and all the helpful lines can be found also on this page. Then all the staff list, I can also open maybe one. Like for example, if you want to see the bureau chief, you can find here. As well, the telecommunication and analysis division, IBFS contacts. Then all the FCC roles, all under the helpful links. This button, the about ICFS, whenever you click on this, it will bring you back to the landing page. On the landing page as well, you can locate the search bar and also advanced search. All the recent public notices will be under this tab. Also the recent filings, I have a couple of filings here as well. The recent filings are here. Recent actions listed under this tab, and then the recent pleading and comments. Yeah, I did file before the demo today. We will go over this also under the pleading and comments. As well, if, for example, you have any like file number you want to find, you also can use the search bar and then select that it's a file number here and do the search. I have two versions of this. Same as you can do the search under the call sign, FRNs, pleading in comments, public notice, and company name. Here we have as well the advanced search. This will help you also advance by the subsystems. You can do the search by the subsystems. All the subsystems are listed here. We can use the DNC, for example, and we can do like amendment. Also, you can choose to select the database entry, frequency, international special project, launch authority, amendment waiver, modification. You can select amendment here. Also do the search, and we can find all the amendments for DNC. Also, you can do the application state. You can also maybe try to remove this. Do the application state. Any like current DNC from the search, and you can find the current DNC here. Also on the main just landing page, you can see like my filings, start the application. actions, my inbox. My inbox is the communication with internal users, the FCC. For example, if they have any questions regarding the applications, they can post it on the internal view. And whenever the user will log in, they will see some my inbox. I did post it like one message before our meeting. It was regarding the public notice that were accepted. This is the main message the external users can see. They can see that when it was created, and then the internal user like accepted it and let the external users know about it. This is regarding the landing page. I will pause here for a little bit if anyone have any questions, and then we can move to the other part of the demo. Okay. Okay, this is our second part of the demo that I'm gonna go through deep in DNC forms, like how to submit the form, how to submit as a draft. Also go through the other tabs, which is my filings, same as action tab and pleading and comments. Going over the DNC, we will do the draft and submission, and as well we'll show you the amendment and waiver. Okay. Start any application, we starting from the start new application. And then here we have all the subsystems, and DNC is under the international telecommunication. And it's actually the first one. And this is how we get to the form. Before starting filing the form, I would like to also mention that the majority, like all forms, have some sections that are sharing the all ICFS system. And this is almost all forms have the application fees, waiver, same as it's structured, the attachment confidential treatment of attachment. Same with the signature block, they go all the same throughout the system, and the general certification statements. This is the DNC form, and like all forms as well, this form has the applicant information and contact information. Here in the applicant information, when you will log in, you will have your FRN in the system, and you can select also, you can have multiple FRNs. I can select this one, the information gets populated. However, the applicant licensee and legal entity type needs to be chosen in this drop-down menu. Also, you can, for contact information, you can use any FRN what in the system as well, or if it's different from the applicant, or you can click on check here if same as applicant. For application information, you will need to add the brief application description, and we can do it here. And then here it's also, you can do new application for DNX or also request to reassign. We will do new one. Yes. Application fees, as I also mentioned, that this is the section that common for all forms throughout the ICFS system. You can choose yes or no, and then here you can choose the application fee code. Or if you answer no, you can select the government entity, non-commercial education license, or other. And for other, you can explain. For waiver is the same. This is the section what goes throughout the system. You can select yes if you have any waiver, or you can select no. And here, if you select yes, you can do the attachment as well for the roll numbers, or also you can do the attachment on the question level, or you can do attachment on the attachments and confidential treatment of attachment on the form level. Do that. Do the attachment here. And we have the attachment section, which is stating that so some legal statements for the attachment for the form, do the checkbox, and you move to the attachment and confidential treatment of attachment section, which is here you can select that the attachment will be confidential by clicking here yes, and then click on the confidential. And also it will ask the redacted version for you to attach it. And then we move to the submitting this form. And here we can just add the name. Middle initial and suffix is not mandatory to enter. And then we can submit this form, or we can save as a draft. And also here you can see that some required information is actually showed below here to show you that the required information needs to be entered. And I missed the relationship field, which is right here, and it's showing me that I need to enter the information. And then I can save as a draft this form. When you save as a draft, the application goes into My Filings, that's located here under the tab. And you can see this is my filing under the draft. This tab is broken down into the draft applications, all your draft applications top. Then we have here pending payment applications. And here we have pending review and pending consummation. Current, the applications that are archived and closed, all can be found under My Filings. I can select my application that was saved as a draft here. Confirm that all the information was saved. Yes, and I can review to submit the application. And then submit. Okay, now you have that the application was successfully submitted. We have here the applicant name, submission ID, file number, and submission date and time. And this is regarding the submitting as a draft and saving as a draft and submitting the application. Also, DNC has amendment and waiver. And as we see that this is our, now find it under the amendment of the application. When you go to the amendment, here are all the applications that are ready to be amended, and this is the all applications that been submitted but haven't been reviewed yet. This is the number what we had for our application. And here for the amendment, you will need to attach a narrative statement describing the changes to the application being made in this amendment. We'll do the checkbox, and also a couple fields are not pre-filled for the amendment. We can go over them. So all information. The brief application description for the amendment will need to be also entered. And then the fees are not required for the amendment. And also, as for the amendment, there was a statement that you will need to attach the narrative. We will do one attachment. And then again, the checkbox on the general certification statements, and also authorized to sign. We can submit this. Accepting the form. And also we can see how the waiver look for the DNC. And this is the waiver. And here we have the same FRN information. Fill out this part. Then waiver application description, and waiver form, because it's a waiver form, doesn't have the waiver section, but it has application fees. First time we select yes. Today, in this form, you can see how to select no for fees. Just commercial education. Same statements for the attachment. No. And then review to submit. And this is the last form, which is the waiver form for DNC. However, I want to get back to the main form and show you two things as well, what we have on the form. This is the C instructions, is where all the form instructions can be found. And also when you save as a draft of the form, you can also print this form by here, clicking on the print the form. See the instructions, it will take you to the instructions for the DNC form. All the rules and the instructions are here. And then when you, for example, save as a draft of the form, you can print the form for yourself. And this is how you do as well. Then another thing what we have on the form is at the bottom, for example, if you want to share the view of the draft with internal users, you can click here and the internal users, the FCC, will be notified as well that you would like to share this with them before the submission if you have any questions. And they can send the message to you also using the communication chat. And you will have how in the beginning I showed that there was one message in my box. Before we move to other steps, I pause for a little bit if anybody has any questions.
Then what's the next step, Jane?
Oh, and the second, I will go through the actions.
Okay, so you'll
Sorry?
You'll show the filing fees next as part of the next few steps. Okay, great, thanks.
And also the pleading comments as well. Okay, perfect. And I will move to the next step, which is all your actions can be found under the action tab. It's register new FRN course, pay filing fees, submit annual report, file confidential report, also the consummate, surrender, withdraw, and delete. And we can move to that part. Okay. For example, if this is to register your new FRN, you will click here, pay filing fees. It's right here. You go here and you will see the all pending payment applications. Then we can select this one. I did submit it yesterday. You will select the application and go to course. Yeah, and basically when you will be signed into the course, you will be taken to the fee payment part.
And the information from ICFS is going as well, right? The IB submission ID and stuff?
Yeah.
Yep. That was one of the questions. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to work that way. We are currently not connected to the UAT course to show you.
And next, here, if you would like to submit the annual report, you will come here for application, what you would like to submit the report. For example, for this form. And then also the file the confidential reports, it also goes through the same step and same with surrender, withdraw, delete. We can do, if you would like to delete any application, you can select it here. For example, the one DNC, what I just submitted, You will-
No, you can't. If you can delete that, there's a problem. You can only delete drafts. Once it's been submitted, you
Okay.
will not be permitted to delete an application. You can withdraw it, but you can't delete it.
Okay, noted this. Withdraw. Okay, I'll do another note here regarding the withdraw, but this is the way how you get to the withdraw the applications. Then another step, what I would like to show is pleading and comments that are under the tab pleading and comments. Here we have if this is submission being filled on behalf of committee for the assessment of foreign participation in the United States Telecommunication Services Sector Committee. Here you will choose if it's yes or no, and depends on this answer, the pleading type will be shown. If you answer yes, there will be some more pleading types that are regarding the team telecom. Here you can select the pleading type. What we have can do exhibit, comment, supplement, agreement, and etc. Can select the exhibit, and then the same as the confidential treatment request, you can select yes or no. Reference is optional. The address. Also the optional, the contact information. And we can add the file number, for example, DNC. And also another number, select the same. Multiple file numbers can be selected as well. Here you can do the confidential treatment of attachment, same as on the form. Select no. You need to submit. And this is the pleading and comment that's been successfully submitted. This is the screen what you will get. Also under the recents here, it will bring you to the page where you can see the recent filing, recent actions, and recent pleading and comment. I'll pause here, and if you have any questions on that part. Okay. And it covers actually all the part of the DNC on the external, what I would like to show you.
Thanks, Jane. I think we've answered most of the questions that came up in chat. But if anyone has further questions after the fact, feel free to send them to icfsdemo@fcc.gov, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We have a series of these going on, I'm sure most of you know, so for the next 2 weeks. So all the questions should be answered. And if there's things you saw that you think should be there and aren't, you can let us know, but I have to let you know that we cannot probably fix those things before we go live. We would put them on a list of things that we would fix in the future.
Okay, and thank you so much for all your time, and talk to you soon.